What is going on, everyone? My name is Jared Haas, and welcome back into another edition of NASCAR Mailbox. This weekend, we're going to take a look back at the action from Richmond Raceway. After the NASCAR Cup Series race at Richmond Raceway, Austin Dillon crossed the finish line first and was awarded the win. And by golly, it definitely caused a stir on the internet. And definitely some differing opinions in the comment section for NASCAR Mailbox this week. You had Aaron Marquez Sesente say, I think Austin Dillon should have been disqualified for wrecking Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin. And the number 3 team radio said, wreck him, and wreck Denny Hamlin. And Richard Childress said, Pop, Pop, I'm so proud of you. Joey Logano said, this is ridiculous. And then you had the other side of the spectrum that said, that was relatively okay with this. This is a comment from Steven Switcher, 627. He said, fan for 50 years, the 11 and the 22 would have wrecked you in a heartbeat to get the win, and it would have been wrong if Austin didn't win. Congrats, Austin. So definitely some differing opinions on this forefront, but NASCAR announced on Wednesday the penalty for Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon is able to keep his win at the race at the Richmond Raceway, but that win does not count to his playoff eligibility. So he does not get to rise up from 32nd to a playoff spot now. Also, he is docked 25 driver and owner points, and his spotter as well is suspended for 3 races. Now that Austin Dillon is outside the playoff picture, as we've seen the consequences of what we've created with the system, and I mean, kind of answering Ben-KB1UB saying, is this what NASCAR wanted to accomplish? This is like 1 to 16 teams making the NFL playoffs after breaking the other team's legs. This is the perfect scenario that this nightmare situation could have happened. Understandably, they wanted to play the playoff structure of someone not having a great season, having this Cinderella type of story into the playoffs, making this game 7. Oh my gosh, this guy, 32nd in points, had no way to point his way in, had to win and get in. And if they had the performance like Austin Dillon had before the caution came out for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Ryan Preece, we would have been on my whole hum. Wow, Austin Dillon had the race of his career to get into the playoffs. But desperation, and I've said it on these video series, everything's fair in war and love in the last lap. Understandably, you get one chance to do things. You don't get 2 times to swat your way into that. The biggest problem with that type of with the Austin Dillon situation is he had 2 times on the last lap to wreck his way to get to his win. I get it, racing ordeal. The line was crossed and NASCAR penalized in such a according way because at the end of the day, you can't really penalize them 100 points or $100,000 because the big thing that Austin Dillon gained was the playoff eligibility. And having that, setting that precedent of saying, hey, do not do that, I think is an important step for the NASCAR officiating because end of the day, there are drivers looking up to the NASCAR Cup Series. And Austin Dillon has been in the Cup Series for 10 years, and he's been basically in the Cup Series since the start of the playoffs. And I mean, I'll answer Retro Rich 91's question. Will they finally do away with this win and you're in format? Unfortunately, no. Like I said, that's still that excitement that could have been of like Austin Dillon could have had that win if that caution didn't come out, didn't have that bad restart, and didn't send it in to 3 and 4 and making all that contact in the final lap. That was what they were trying to build for, but not this trying to get into this playoffs by using your chrome horn, because at the end of the day, where is the line for these other drivers and like the championship four to say, we can do some team orders, just wreck the other 3 drivers, and guess what? You're gonna be the champion because the other 3 drivers have rocked out. So the end of the day, guess what? Austin Dillon did not get awarded for the actions that he did to get that one. It still stands in the record book. End of the day, Austin Dillon is not in the playoffs. He has a chance to still get into the playoffs, but I think this is a right call that NASCAR made. Thank you very much for watching. As always, like and subscribe. That really helps get our content out to you guys. And until next time, as always, make sure to have a great race weekend.
Kevin Nix with Frontstretch.com. Come back soon for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.